This is a 2025 GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. And today we're going to drive this beast. I borrowed it from Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to ask for Frank. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. This is the XL, which is the long wheelbase. Downpour metallic is the paint color, and it has the woodlawn mahogany interior. Be sure to pause for the standard equipment here. Now base price comes in at $104,800, and this one has the night vision, and downpour is an extra cost because it's metallic paint. Destination is $1995 with a total price of $109,290, and here are the Philly commenters off to the side. I feel as though night vision should have just come standard. You're already over $100,000. I don't see how anyone would not care to have that option, because even if you don't drive at night a lot, it's still really nice to have. Now, for 2025, they did do a refresh for this SUV, and I do like the overall styling. It looks fresh for sure. The headlights did get better for 2025 too compared to the outgoing. And as far as the headlights go, you have that triple beam LED. It also has a sequential turn signals, and when you lock it and unlock it, it has the animations. As far as the grille goes, it does have that Vapor in the center, and they black out the outside of it. And it looks decent on this downpour paint because you have more black accents around this SUV. Down below, you have like this satin finish here. This does have the adaptive cruise control, have the super cruise, you have the 360 camera, which is what that camera is used for, or if you just want to look out front, it has that option too. And look at the graphics they did for that GMC logo too. Off to the side, here's why this thing drives so good. You have that dual wishbone suspension, and it has air suspension too, so they did a pretty good job with this setup here. And I will say, I hit some speed bumps today at normal speed. I didn't even feel it. They do provide a fabric material for the liner, and then here are the tires. These are the Bridgestone Alenza tires. It's going to be a 285/40 24-inch wheel. Has about 2,469 pounds of capacity per tire, extra load. And yes, 24-inch wheels. They have a great design to them. You can delete these if you like, although I think that would be a big mistake because they don't give you a big credit for the 22s. Here's some of the badging, more of that black trimming, turn signals and camera. And then here's a side view. This does have the power deployable running boards, and it has the perimeter lighting below, and smart key system for front and rear doors. They add some chrome here and around the windows, as you just saw, and your roof rails have like a silver finish. Let's see if we can step up here. And this does have a larger fuel tank with the XL model. You do have to use premium. More parking sensors on the side. Quad tips. They hide the hitch. They hide the windshield wiper. Very clean design. And out back on the taillights, you do have some animations with these too. I know it's like a gimmick, but it's kind of cool, I guess. If you want to open this glass, they still allow you to do so. It's a button right here. Or if you need everything else open, there's a button down below here. And this is why you buy the XL. You have extra storage behind that third row seat. And you have the storage below the floor. Your spare tire should be below here too. Now, one good thing about the Escalade is they do give you carpet here. I don't normally like a lot of plastic because when this gets all scratched up, it looks terrible over time. If you want to drop these seats down, it's very easy to do. You do have to hold the buttons, and they go down really quick. You can also drop the second row, although you cannot put those back up out back. You have a 120-volt power plug on that side. You have some tie downs, and they only give you a light right there. Now, I will make a point here. You guys see where your cameras are? So you got two cameras. They give you a sprayer to clean them off. This one's for the rear view mirror. This is for backup camera. We'll discuss that in a second. And then here's a side view. There weren't any major updates to the powertrains for this refresh. So this is still the 6.2 liter, which is the standard engine. It's gonna have 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. And if you wanna get those performance numbers, you gotta burn premium. So if you don't burn premium, you're gonna get less. All that power does go through a 10-speed transmission. Later this year, they did unveil their updated diesel engine, which is a 3-liter inline 6. It's going to give you class-leading MPG for highway and city, and that also has made it to a 10-speed transmission. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Alrighty, so I have two cameras on right now, and I wanted to show you guys just 2 point of views. Now, in the third row seat, there's actually quite a bit of space back here. And then I don't see where you can recline the seats. I'm not sure if you can actually. They do give you some Type-C USBs, cup holder, and some storage. A little bit of soft touch here for your arm. And for me being 6'1", I fit perfectly back here. The seat does sit a little bit lower, but if I climb over to the second row, they do have a screen down here. It has a single climate control. You have outboard heated seats. They give you some HDMIs for these screens here. I believe these are 12.6 inches. They also give you a 120-volt power plug here. Seat back pockets. You guys see the twin panel moonroof probably too. Now these seats, if you are planning to go on a long trip, this is where you want to go because you can recline. They do slide forward and back too, so that's nice. And of course you have like a kid in a small child seat, you can put the seat a little bit closer to you. And yeah, these seats are pretty comfortable. They're a little stiff, but look at all the leather and all the wood trimming that they give you back here. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's side. But there's no denying this interior. This is one of the best. 18 speaker Bose, real leather seats, great stitching, all the piping around this interior. Extra speakers are on those headrests there. This one does have the Super Cruise, thicker steering wheel for this year too. And then here's some of the controls. I believe this is an 11-inch screen, and you have a 16.8 screen right there. Let's go ahead and take this for a drive because I feel as though this is what you guys really want to see, is how this thing rides with these 24-inch wheels. It's very crazy today how having larger wheels does not make a huge impact on the ride quality. I'm not going to say that these wheels ride just like the 22s, because the 22s have more sidewalls, so they're going to obviously ride a little bit more smoother. But you know, 15 years ago, if you had a Tahoe on 24s, it would ride terrible. But these new SUVs have great suspension, and they added this air suspension which already smoothens out the ride. So if you do get the 22s, or if you have a previous model with the 22s, it rides perfectly. But this, in the city, I don't think you would ever notice a difference. You would really be like a stickler to really notice a big difference in how this performs, you know, in the city. Hitting bumps, it just kind of gallops over them. Like earlier today when I was coming out of the dealership, I was going about 15 miles an hour. I went over one of the speed bumps, couldn't even feel it. It feels very smooth. And as far as the overall, you know, quality, I think they've done a great job. You know, how they design the suspension. You have independent front and rear suspension, double wishbone up front, and that's going to really help with that sportier feel. And of course, it being independent, you're not feeling that vibration throughout the entire suspension. You're only feeling it on one side basically. And the weight, that's the other thing. This thing is so heavy, it just feels more planted. And when we get on the highway, we'll see if it feels a little sloppy, because sometimes the XL models, for me, they don't handle as good. They feel big. Oh wow, this V8, this is why I missed the V8s. I don't know if you guys even noticed that. Like, I hit it and it just has that low end torque and it just kind of launches off. But yeah, this thing feels very composed. I don't think that most people even notice how big these are. Once you jump in the driver's seat and you start driving, it doesn't feel big. Like, even at that parking garage I was just at, I could make a U-turn. I should have showed it to you guys, but I could make a U-turn, you know, in the parking lot without having to back up. Now with this V8, it does lack horsepower. The torque is actually pretty good, but when you do give it wide open throttle, 50, 60, at the higher speeds, it does feel a little sluggish. But down low, if you're going like 30 miles an hour, I bet you that this will feel a lot more quicker compared to those twin turbo V6s initially. But then those twin turbo V6s will just walk this thing back down, because they just have more horsepower, more torque. What is it? Fords have like, what, over 400 horsepower for the twin turbos, but the forced induction makes up for the horsepower regardless. And when you're higher above elevation, like I am here in Utah, those twin turbos just make more power compared to these naturally aspirated V8s, V6s, because for every 1,000 feet you go up, you lose 3% of your horsepower. But overall, the fit and finish of this thing is nice. There's virtually no road noise, even with this big twin panel roof. Now you can look right here. This does slide. My wife would love this. That's why I got to keep her away from this, because our Lexus is not that great in terms of just our like experience with it. Down here it has some hidden storage, and if you have those big purses, or if you're a guy driving this, if you have a, you know, a side arm, you can put it right here. Now you can't close this with the firearm here because, you know, it'll get smushed. But even if you're a little bit shorter, this does slide. This armrest here, you can see it sliding. So that way you still can, you know, have some support here. But yeah, they just did a great job. They give you these covers. No one uses the covers. Once you get this, you're gonna always keep these open, but they're just nice to have. You have a wireless charger down below. As far as your camera system goes, actually this goes up and down. Where are the cameras? Right there. You have 360 camera view. Yeah, there's just so much to like about this. I love the black liner. They don't give you any suede up here. They don't put fabric here. Just saying, I mean, at $110,000, I'm picky, especially when this does cost as much as a Grand Wagoneer in some cases, or as much as a Lexus, which again doesn't have the size of this, but it does give you a lot of other nice features. One last thing to mention is you do have massage seats. If you look over at the screen, if you push the button on the side, there's actually a toggle too. You can see it right here. It also has a shoulder support, so 16-way seats, and you can tighten the bolstering on the sides of the seat. So if you're a little bit skinnier and you want the seat to hug you more, I like to get hugged by my seats. That works flawlessly. So yeah, you don't get the massage function on the bottom cushion, which is not a big deal. I don't think most people would even care about that. Here's the night vision. As I said, for $2,000, that is pitiful. It's only on a small screen on your gauge cluster. Very pitiful for $2,000. Here, I wish that GM would have put the camera higher, like above the rear glass maybe, or like within that rear glass, because this camera does sit low, but you can adjust it up and down. And somebody was asking me about this, and you know, again, when I showed it to them, they were amazed that yes, you can adjust the camera because it does sit low. This does make it a lot better. You can also zoom in and out, and that should actually help too, although it's already zoomed out all the way. If you're thinking about putting this in your business name, or you plan on towing a trailer, these numbers might be important to you. If you can't see, that rear axle rating is 4,200 pounds. 7,700 pound gross vehicle weight rating, and then 24 by 9.5 wide wheels. All in payload is 1,324 pounds, and you can tow up to 7,800 pounds with the XL, which I believe is lower than the regular Yukon, so just keep that in mind. But I hope you guys liked the video. This is definitely one of the best on the market, and this color is actually really pretty for the Yukon. Be sure to ask for Frank if you are in the market. See you guys soon.